flipper. Never slipping when he tip it. Call culture crazy, flexing like he doing sit-ups. Slab line and he don't need a pickup. Bombs choosing when they see the get up.
Yeah, I resent it.
I was with him when it happened, chilling, getting faded with him. Mama called and said it's dangerous with him, so I left. I guess that's when they sprayed a nigga, man. I got what you want.
Rap or sing, but a rap and everything. It's like basically this was like my homeboys from back home. They were like trying to get put on a little bit out here in Houston. I was like, man, you know what? Because I did some stuff with Pyrex. Like Pyrex is gonna be featuring on some stuff. So I was like, if I'm the one that starts it, let me get everybody through the door. Oh yeah. But that's the thing, man, is that like I reached out to him and was like, hey man, I just shot him a freestyle him, and I was like, hey man, what you think? He's like, he liked it. So then I was like, hey man, what do you think about jumping on this track? And he was like, yeah. So no, not on this one. It'll be the remix come out, or the G mix, but you know. But yeah, it's definitely nice to see people like that, man, that are up there obtaining that kind of status and still able to still deal with lower cats starting out. So. Huh? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, man.
Tell me what you feel. This could be a dream. Well, I can paint the picture. 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 To the south side, I was Basquiat, where everybody trying to call the shots and everybody trying to call a block. You sit and wonder when the drama stop. Well, I can paint the picture. I can paint the picture. I can paint the picture. I can paint the picture.
Right.
Whenever you're ready, Kate.
Okay.
Lay it down.
I give you a call, man.
All right.
Okay, then. Did you want to lock that down? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This man K-Night is definitely in the building, man. It's going down, man. GMT Radio.com, man. Shout out to the boy Grayface for holding it down with your boy. You know I gotta always shout out to DJ. Man, y'all better respect that DJ.
Yeah.
Grayface, how you feeling, man? We just had two,
Good,
a singer and a author.
Felt good,
Definitely in the
man.
building.
Felt good. The vibe, little neo soul vibe, little grown man conversation,
Right.
good energy.
Right.
It's all good, man. God is good.
Already. We're gonna transition into we got Nicho. Definitely in the building. Nicho, what's good? What you been coming?
Not much, man. Just living a dream.
Already. That boy say living a dream. So when you say living a dream, I gotta ask you, what dream?
Music, I'd say.
Already. So, let's talk about what you got going on. You got a single that you're pushing?
Single, yes. Single is Pie, featuring J-Boy and Joey G.
Okay.
As of last week, placed second for Beat of the Week, and that's from the U.S. and Europe. And won a little contest. SoundCloud recently had released Pie, and within the week of the song being released, it was over 6,000 plays. So coming from a small town in Alabama, that's a big feat for me.
So you moved here from Alabama?
Yes, 6 years ago. Been here ever since. I did music in Alabama when I was 13, working at a studio called East and West. And for a while there, kind of got away from it a little bit, tried to do the whole grown up thing, you know.
Right.
And now that I'm getting established in other areas, I'm like, man, I'm coming back to my music. Cause
So let me ask you, you said beat-wise, you produce?
beats and stuff, I'm starting to get to where I'm making more beats and everything to get them to the quality I want. But I've always liked making my own sound.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's always nice to get a beat that's made by someone, but when you can make it and you can feel everything of the song, that's the best feeling. That you're like, hey, I did every bit of this from start to finish.
Right. So if you had to choose between the two, because I know you do the beats, you do rapping, and you do singing.
A little bit of singing, yes.
So if you had to choose your favorite, what would that be?
It'd probably be rapping. Honestly, because just that's like a vent for me. Okay. It's always been some way. If you had something going on, I'd just get in the car driving to work and literally just start freestyling, putting beats on.
Right, man. I'm not gonna lie. You don't look like the type of person that want to vent about it.
Hey, and it's crazy because I get that a lot. People would
like you're the most calm, cool, and collective dude ever.
To a certain extent. I mean, I guess it's like one of those things. I grew up and I had a big family. We didn't have a whole lot growing up. There's 8 of us, and my brothers and sisters. So like a lot of times people didn't see the stuff, and it was more like laugh it off and get past it kind of thing. And then music was the only place I had like an outlet. Once I started learning, hey, I can use this to my advantage.
So let me make sure you say Alabama, right?
Yes.
Okay, so of course you're not black.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, you're not black. Caucasian.
Caucasian and Italian, yes.
Okay, so in Alabama, growing up, what made you want to rap?
It was just always the thing I liked. Like, to be honest with you, music, growing up in my neighborhood I grew up around, I didn't grow up around the suburban class America where it was like, hey, they got a white picket fence. No, I grew up where, hey, there's a crackhead and a pit bull in the other yard.
Okay,
right? So literally it was like I was influenced by the people around me. Okay. So when I go back home, I don't look at it as so much of like, okay, well, you're this or you're that. And no, it was never that. It was basically you're just people. People are people. I shouldn't look at you and be like, oh, well, that's what you are because that's what you are. No.
Okay, so one of the songs that you heard, name one of the songs that you heard that made you say, you know what, I can do that.
Probably one of the songs that I heard, and to be honest with you, growing up, it was like I heard Pyrex a little bit when I was growing up, but as I got older, Yellow Wolf was one. Okay. And I heard Yellow Wolf, and it was like, he's from the town over from Florida, Alabama called Gadsden. Okay. Just as small as where I'm from, and this guy's with Interscope and Shady Records. Right. And it's like, I seen that, and I was like, hey, man, it is possible. Yeah. Like, you just got to actually put it out there and put in the work. You can't accept it to fall on your lap. It's not going to work like that.
Now, do you consider yourself a lyricist or a battle rapper or just a music maker, a songwriter?
Just music, but I would say also lyricist, because there's times where like writing process for me is always harder to do because it's like I usually like to do it like sometimes I would do it on the fly. Sometimes I'm learning to write more versus just being like, hey, let me get in here and throw something together. I was like, no, because it sounds better when you sit down and take that time to write sometimes.
Now you say you working with Pyrex or you already work with Pyrex?
As of right now, Pyrex, we have a single that I had sent to him and just waiting basically for him to do his part. Once it's filled in, it's coming back.
So getting a response from Pyrex. How if people don't know who Pyrex is, Google Pyrex and yeah.
I mean, honestly, getting a response from him was not something that I expected, to be honest, because a lot of stars and people that make a little bit of status, they will not deal with people on a lower, like just starting out, because they're like, oh, you ain't got no clout for me to really consume from that. Right. But as I sat there and had a small conversation with him about everything, he gave me some of the best advice I think I've had in a long time as far as music, and he was that just keep doing music and basically just keep pushing. If someone's got a single and someone's on fire in the city, start doing work with them. Get a video with them. Do everything that you can to start grabbing some of that fan base so they're interested in who are you? Who is this person?
Not bad advice. Not bad advice at all. Would you say you pattern your style after Pyrex?
No, I wouldn't say. It's basically just off a mood, because there's times where I'll do songs that are really slow, like an R&B type sound, and then sometimes it's like, okay, you got one that you just want to like drop in on and go, okay, yeah.
So any you moved here to Houston, so is there any rapper besides Pyrex that you got on the radar and you like, okay, if I can work with that artist?
It'd probably be, I'd say, someone along the lines of like Little Flip, possibly. Somebody like that, Trey the Truth. Okay. A lot of Houston artists, I give them respect, because when I was growing up, I didn't hear about them until, what was that song? I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's with Mike Jones and Paul on it. Still Tipping.
Still
That was the
Tipping,
first time I ever got even a taste of
Right.
Houston music.
Right.
And then after that, it was like, oh man, there are so many more artists than what I thought.
Right.
So I would definitely say a lot of the people that came from the original Swisher House, I would definitely work with some of them.
That's not a bad choice. I mean, those were the artists that for a new generation. Plus, you had the Ghetto Boys. H-Town as far as singing. That put the Houston on the map.
Swish House, all that.
Yeah, Swisher House came along and they opened up a door for Screwed Up Click. So yeah, they opened up a door that was they but I'm gonna say they kicked in the door. Yeah, because they came out. Yeah, they came out of nowhere, and next thing you know, Slim was with Pharrell and I'm like, wow.
Definitely had the attention moving. Then it was like, okay, get the momentum. But what they did, it was smart, was collectively as a group, they stuck together and said, let's, as a city, make it as a whole, get on, and then we can start branching out and doing other things. Because if you look at people like Slim Thug, Paul Wall, all these other artists, they started in music, but they branched out. They got smart enough to say, okay, man, I need to start getting other businesses underneath my belt.
Right. And I gotta say this here, man. And this ain't the name drop, but I'm just being 100 with you. You sitting in the seats with Pow Wow, Lil Flip, all of them sat in here and done their thing. You know what I'm saying? This Kiki. So man, shout out to you for definitely just coming through and hanging with us, man. It's your vibe is really chill. Your vibe, I'm telling you, it's really.
I'm waiting to hear the music.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're gonna jump into.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna officially let you introduce the song that we got, and then we're gonna jump into the music.
Okay. All right. This is gonna be Pie by Nicho Lafata featuring J Boy and Joey G.
Just another job, want a piece of the pie. Go to work, home at 9 to 5. No my life, no, it won't suffice. Get up off your ass is my best advice.
All I do is stack my paper, maintain. Give a fuck about your pussy, now y'all lame. Only thing about my mind is that dollar bill. All I do is stack my money up, I'm so for real. All this shit I do, add up and I'll subtract. I told them niggas, yeah, I'm all for you, fuck for that. All I do is get that money, baby. I told them, get that money, I know you hate me.
Just an average Joe, want a piece of the pie. Go to work from 9 to 5. Normal life, I know that it won't suffice. Get up off your ass, it's my best advice.
Joey G. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be at the end of it. It's gonna be something.
Okay.
That was just how it ended today.
Yeah. That bad boy
I was looking for another
2
verse.
minutes? 2 minutes? How long was this on?
It's 2 minutes on that one.
Yeah.
We originally the screw and chop version is one of those things where I was like, okay, hold on. If I'm gonna do this, I got to do it right. And whether it's bringing in the Houston artists or whatever, and myself, make it where it's adapting to both. So it's like people at home are getting what they want, and then you got people over here from Houston that are like, hey man, I'll bang that. Like,
I'm gonna tell you this here. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. If you want it,
yes, I do.
go back and add another verse to that. that boy was jamming.
Yeah.
I was waiting on another. I was waiting on it like I wanted to hear some
What was
more.
that, 116? What was that, a hook? 116 in the hook?
It was a hook. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah. At least no more than another 16. Another 16 a hook, and you can shut it down.
Yeah. Because I wanted some more of that.
Yeah. That was that. Yeah. That, and that next.
I mean, I don't know how you're doing your thing, you know.
That next verse. Yeah. Because that's.
Well, on that, like with that, the song, as far as like how it's sitting now, that was one of the things that we discussed. And it was like, well, you know, what are we going to do as far as like sound? Because there was one way we were going to go. We're going to chop and screw it. And I was at home. I was like, well, let me slow it down and see. And I like the sound from it. And it was like, well, okay. And then as soon as the whole thing with Pyrex was coming about, it was like, well,
so
now this the one he has right now. So all I'm waiting on is his verse, and the actual regular verse, yes, it'll be a G mix. So and then there's open spot. There's another hook for it, and there's also another spot for another verse. So there's possibility of me and him both being on it or breaking it halfway down. But that's one of the things that I've made sure to do is that to network with everybody. Whether you were an artist this big, has 100 followers or 40 followers, guess what? Everybody had to start somewhere.
Man, like I said, I'm digging the track, man. That track was nice. Yeah, it was. You produced the music? Mm-hmm. You did the track?
Yes, track. It's like the whole song together is like, I think for me, it's like that little Christmas type sound. Yeah. But it was like, they make so many songs that are like, okay, well, I woke up in a Bugatti, or I have a mansion. More people can relate to, I have a 9 to 5, I got to go to work tomorrow. For sure. So that demographic for me is like, I can't sit here and say, hey, I got a car, and then jump in a regular car. It's like, no. I wanted something that was going to be genuine, that this is who I am. And if you're vibing with that and you going to work every day just like me and maintaining and stacking money just like you need to, then hey, this is for you. This is your demographic. So
let's do this here, man. Shoot out your social media, man, for the people that's tuned in, man. Make sure if you got a video for the song, if you got visuals, any type of visuals, make sure you let them know where they can go and check you out.
Okay. SoundCloud is going to be Nicho Lafata, and IG drop is going to be Nicho Lafata 90 at Instagram.
What's the future?
Hopefully I'll be seeing y'all soon after this, and possibly a record deal out of it. Pushing for it. I mean, if I need to be independent, because a lot of Houston artists will do that, but at the same time, record deals always nice to have that backing and get your footwork.
Yeah, so. That record deal, but they gotta have some money, some upfront money. Yeah, it can't be $2. gotta have upfront money, man.
Some heavy marketing, promotion, and distribution.
Yeah. Oh wow.
They gotta have that package.
I'm gonna be honest. These deals these days, boys is. Man, I what you signed for? Man, I had a pair of Jordans. You know,
they giving out single deals.
Yeah.
I've heard of 360 deals. Yeah. That was the one that I've been hearing most about. The people were like, if you get that thrown at you, do not take it.
That's what I said. Some Jordans. Yeah. So
nice little rate.
Yeah. So definitely salute you, man, on the music, man. I wasn't expecting.
It's funny that you say that, because so many people say that. Like, I have homies that'll sit there and see a video, or they hear the song, and then someone will show them an Instagram video of me freestyling or something, and then it'll be like, hold on, this is the same dude. Like, I don't think so, man.
Your personality is very low key, laid back. You know what I'm saying? But that's a good thing. It's a really good thing, because people are not expecting it. So when they hear it, you notice we say, that's you.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's a surprise. So definitely keep that, man. Don't go get all the grills in your mouth.
Oh, no.
You don't do it all that. You know.
To be honest with you,
don't chat your face.
Yeah.
I had that discussion was already coming up, and it was like, people were like, well, since you're in Houston, would you be getting a grill? I said, no. I said, just like when I came here tonight, I'm coming as I am. Yeah. If I wear Vans on a regular day,
you take that everywhere. You take this look right here. You take that everywhere.
You can sit up in a meeting.
Yeah,
we sit up in a meeting, and that's why I try to get a lot of cats to understand. We don't curse. We try not to curse a lot on this station, because we're trying to prep you for the next thing.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely, man, salute you definitely for coming through and hanging out with us. Like I tell every artist, you could have been anywhere else, and I say this genuinely. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here at this specific point in time, and we definitely appreciate that. And
I appreciate the platform that y'all offer, man. I mean, like I say, I heard it all through my friends Demores, and after that, I was like, man, let me reach out to him. And I was not sure what to expect coming in here. Right, I'm not going to lie, because you just hear radio stations like, oh boy said, you hear it, but you don't see it. And then you get here and you're like, oh man, just everybody sitting down hanging out.
Yeah, man, we try to make you feel at home. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, if you got anything else that you want to push, you're always welcome to come to GMT Radio and just do your thing. Just like you picked up the phone, you reached out to me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely can make it happen, man. This is what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to bring that song back.
Bring it back.
Yeah, we're going to run that song one more time, man. Shoot out your social media info one more time.
Social media, Instagram is Nicho Lafata 90, and SoundCloud, Nicho Lafata.
Already. Well, it's going down, man. We're going to jump into this Nicho, and it's
Pie.
Alright, it's going down, man. GMTRadio.com. Like I always say, holla at your boy, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep it locked, man. We got Child Time coming up next. So, hey, it's going down, man. GMTRadio.com. Like I always say, holla at your boy. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Did you see Hype?
Yeah, I just seen the
Theo.
Just another job, want a piece of the pie. Go to work, I'm a 9 to 5. Know my life, know it, no surprise. Get up off your ass is my best advice.
All I do is stack my paper maintain. Give a fuck about your pussy. Only thing about my mind is that
I think it's like
all I do is stack my paper.
that's like that gives them little bitty verses between it where it's like ta, and that's why we were like trying to see at home, literally at the house. One guy like Frank Nitty from Fifth Ward Boys. I'm planning on going to his studio soon. Him and Shadow Black. So.
that's like an auto-tune, something auto-tune
Because I was like, let me make it something, like I say, that people can relate to, you know?
He ain't trying to overkill and utilize the beat. That bad boy about to go off, K. Maybe that bad boy's short.
Okay, that's cool. Oh, okay. You gonna get in, Greg?
Yeah.
Hey, Theo. You wanna come in right quick? Oh, Bobby. This Bobby Bands, man. Go DJ Bobby Bands. This Theo's that. Bobby Bands.
Oh, you're right there. My bad. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Your man